Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful day out there. Yesterday, we kind of dealt with that fun snow.
Yeah, it was opposite day yesterday.
It was opposite day yesterday. So I called up our friend from the Public Works Department, Mark Hodel, and asked him, hey, Mark, what do you think about a ride-along today? And he said, Jeremy, for you, anything. So here he is, Mark Hodel, and we're going to learn a little bit about snow plowing in the city of Fitchburg. Take a look.
Even though that this isn't really that much of snow, it is heavy, it's wet, and it pushes really hard with the truck. When you go around corners, the snow rolls off, or it carries with the plow, and then when it rolls off in big chunks. The trucks are really hard to steer on this. They will push the front end of the truck around. The trucks don't back up well, because it was really slick underneath of this before you got a little bit of salt down. So it's even though it's not very much, it's heavy. It's really hard to push. If you're scraping real tight to the ground, it's a lot rougher on the edges, and you catch manholes or water boxes or cracks in the road, where when it's cooler, sometimes it doesn't scrape as tight to the ground and it'll just skim, but it leaves a little bit more snow. We've actually been trying different things to try to get the plows to scrape tighter to the road, so that we use less salt to melt off the whatever is left over, the residual snow. We do things with changing the plow angle so it scrapes tighter to the road. We've tried different cutting edges. This truck actually has right now an edge that's mounted with rubber bushings, and it's supposed to absorb some of the shock of the imperfections in the road and save, because you can shear the bolts off these cutting edges, and these rubber mounts are supposed to prevent that from happening. And I do notice it's quite a bit quieter. Pavement temperature was 34 degrees, so it's actually fairly warm, which then we drop the amount of salt that we're putting per lane mile down. These trucks are adjusted pretty well. You can put between 100 pounds per lane mile all the way up to probably 900 pounds per lane mile. A day like today, when the pavement's so warm, the air temperature is fairly warm, you can really dial the salt down. These trucks are actually calibrated so that the faster you go, the stronger the salt comes out, and the slower you go, the salt slows down. So it works on the speed of the vehicle. One thing is always people, cars pull up behind you, and the plow trucks do have to back up quite frequently. At intersections, they gotta usually back up to go around the corner, and you gotta be mindful of a vehicle that pulls up behind you. And actually, it's good to give a plow truck plenty of room when they're backing up, because they can't always see if they're in your blind spot. It's a good thing to keep things off the street, for one thing, because it's hard to go around them with the trucks, and especially with this heavy as snow, it's kind of hard to steer the truck around things. Well, these trucks, like you said, have a front plow, and they have a side wing. It's actually really nice having that wing, because you can get closer to mailboxes, closer to curbs. When you go around corners, you don't leave such a mess that your wheels got to drive through. But by the same token, you got an extra plow outside the right side of your truck that you got to keep track of. You got to make sure you don't back into cars with it, or people don't pass you on the right side and get into your wing. You don't hit signs. But once you get used to it, you really wouldn't want it without it. Oh yeah, it's fun being out and about, and sometimes it's frustrating. It doesn't feel like you're making any headway. You plow and it keeps snowing, but the end product is usually pretty rewarding when the streets are nice looking.
He didn't say anything else after that, by the way. Streets are looking good.
They are
You
looking good.
It's kind of like you went off like, yeah, I'm hoping that's going to be soon.
Yeah.
But he did call it right when we got done. He's like, I bet you we're going to get this all clean and then it's going to snow again.
Yeah, that's the way it goes,
then
right?
it snowed. So, hey, thank everybody out there for snowplow drivers, not just in the city of Fitchburg, everywhere, private, public, whatever.
Yeah.
Thanks for what you do out there. I know it's long hours, and I did ask Mark. I didn't put it in the package because I'm like, if you're in the truck all the time, like, is there like a song, like a station, radio station?
Mm-hmm.
Mark's like, for me, I just don't have the radio on, and
There you go. He's focused.
he just likes the sound of the plow, I guess.
He's a Zen master.
Yeah.
That's what I suspect. I don't think he's telling us, but I think he's a master of the Zen. That's what I think.
Well, I was thinking like maybe books on tape or something. I don't know. You're in there for so long, but there you go. Either
There
way,
you go.
we'll get that posted up online a little bit later, 2 days, so you can watch that. So thank you, Mark, for letting us ride along. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap it up a little PB&J right here on Talking Fitchburg.